What's going on? Thanks for joining us here for another session of mobility. If you haven't already, assume the position. Find a nice comfy spot on your back. Take a few minutes to let go of any tension, any stress, anything causing you anxiety in your life. And just imagine letting go of that on your next breath. Just breathe out any tension, any stress. Just focus on being present, focusing on right here and right now. Today's routine, we focus on the shoulders and the knees. So we'll take a few targeted breaths, starting with the lower body. On your next exhale, as you let go of that air, imagine those quads getting nice and soft and all that tension going along for the ride as you breathe that air out. And on your next breath, let's use the same strategy around those shoulders. Breathing out any tension through the pecs, the lats, the traps. Feeling your shoulders sink heavy into your mat. Letting your arms just go limp. Let's take a couple more deep quality breaths. One more long, slow, relaxing breath in. We'll slowly sigh out that breath. We'll start today's routine on the left lower quad. So let's go face down on your lacrosse ball. And focusing on releasing tissues just above your kneecap. Might be that teardrop muscle, your vastus medialis. Might be on the outside, that vastus lateralis. Might be just above your kneecap. Right in the center, that rectus femoris. Whatever feels tense today, let that be your focus. And while we're releasing this area, it can be useful to move your leg through your knee, pulling your heel up towards your hips. It can be useful sometimes to roll on that ball. It can be useful sometimes to just stay still. Each technique has a benefit. And which technique is best for you is really going to come from trying some stuff out. Let's take one more long, slow, relaxing breath here. We'll slowly sigh out that breath. And we'll shift into the right side. Let's pan through that vastus medialis, that teardrop muscle. The outside part of that quad in the middle. Feel out what needs attention. Once you found your spot, do a little experimenting with how you're applying that pressure and tension and the amount of pressure and tension you're applying. As always, we want to get pressure release without pain. So work within that range. And then again, it can be useful to get some motion through the knee while we're in this position. Just gently pulling the heel up towards the butt. Continue to experiment and pay attention to how your body's reacting. If you find movements improving, we're on the right track. If you're getting any pain, we're going a little too intense. So just ease up on that tension. Find that right amount of pressure that helps that tissue settle down and allows for better movement. Let's take one more breath here. We'll slowly sigh out that breath and move into the left side popliteus muscle. So that's kind of a mouthful. One of those small muscles that sits in behind the knee. And if you're not an anatomy person, don't worry about the name or the exact location. Just start working around some of those tissues in behind your knee, feeling out what needs attention. And then settle into the right amount of pressure. It can be a sensitive area, so if you're getting pain, just ease off on that tension. If you find the lacrosse ball is too aggressive, feel free to just go with your fingertips. As always, use the video as a guide and use your body as your tool for refining what this exercise is going to look like for you. And once we're there, once you've settled into your target spot, target stimulus, shift your attention back to your breath. Settle into that pace and depth of breath and shape of breath. It helps you find calm. And if you're not sure, just start by slowing it down. When we slow that breath down, it helps to slow our whole body down and help us get into a nice state of relaxation where we can heal. Let's take one more breath here. We'll slowly sigh out that breath and we'll shift to the right side. So let's pan through the back side of this right knee. If this is a new area of focus for you, err on the side of going nice and easy, just easing your way in. If you have worked through this before and you found a good spot, remember to try to be progressive as long as we're not getting into pain. Let your body's reaction and your body's results help you fine-tune what exactly these exercises look like for you. And every chance we get, circling back to a nice relaxing rhythm of your breath and concentrating on getting passive throughout as much of your body as possible. There are some tissues we need active, and there's a lot that we don't. So any muscle we don't need right now, whether it be your face, your feet, your opposite limbs, as you breathe out that air, imagine letting go of tension through those areas that are tense. Let's take one more breath here. We'll slowly sigh out that breath. We'll shift our attention back to the left knee and do a little traction work. So from seated position, firmly grab a hold of your left shin and just gently push it away from your body and gently rotate it towards the middle of your body. We're adding a little bit of distraction force and a little bit of internal rotation. And once again, if this is new, be nice and easy. Ease your way in. Let pain be your guide. There should be zero pain with this. The idea is just to get a tiny little bit of separation in the knee joint itself to help those articular surfaces glide a little better. And just keep cycling through that. A gentle pulling away of that shin bone and rotating it inward. And always being conscious of how your body's responding. Let's take one more breath here. We'll slowly sigh out that breath and move to the right side. So again, firmly grabbing a hold of that shin, gently pressing it away from the direction of your body, and gently rotating it inwards. And again, pay attention to how your body's responding. If there's any pain whatsoever, just ease up on that tension. It's a new exercise, again, going nice and easy and gentle. And if you've been doing this for a while, feel free to be a tiny bit more aggressive, but still remember to pay attention to how your body's responding. Pain is non-negotiable. If there is any pain, we stop or pull back. And let's take one more breath here. We'll slowly sigh out that breath. And move into the left side saddle stretch. Start by pulling your left heel up towards your butt. And if this position, sitting upright with your leg bent, is enough of a stretch through the knee and through the quad, feel free to hang out here. If you have more mobility, feel free to lean your torso back, either onto your elbows or all the way to the floor. And just pay close attention to how that knee's feeling. There should be zero pain. All we want is a stretch through the front part of that leg and thigh. And once you've settled into that version of the stretch for today, concentrating on getting passive in the position, relaxing into the stretch. And in a few seconds, we will get active. It can be helpful to grab a hold of your left ankle. We're going to get active by reversing. And let's go ahead. Starting with nice easy tension, activate through the quad. Trying to push your foot in through the floor, ramping up tension as we go. Finishing with some big force, really squeezing here at the end. 3, 2, 1. Let's gently reverse. Actively squeezing through the hamstring, trying to pull your heel right as close to your hips as possible. Ramping up that tension as we go. Give it a good squeeze here for these last 5, 3, 2, 1. Big breath out, relax. Nice and passive. Submit to the position. You may find at this point you can find further depth in the stretch. But try not to force anything. Feel out what feels right for today. Let's take one more deep diaphragmatic breath as we sigh it out. We'll switch to the right side. So again, start by sitting up. Pull that heel towards your hips. Find a stretch through that thigh. And then feel out whatever depth of stretch feels right for today. If you are fairly mobile, feel free to lean all the way flat on your back, assuming it's pain-free. Otherwise, find whatever level of stretch works for where your body's at. Once we're there, concentrate on getting passive. Any muscle that's not essential, mentally hit that off switch. Let all those areas go to sleep. Stick with a nice relaxing rhythm of your breath. And mentally go to your happy place. In 10 seconds, we will start to gently get active through that quad to resist the stretch. And let's go ahead, activating through your quad, attempting to push your foot through the floor or through your hand, ramping up that tension as we go. Finishing with some big force. 3, 2, 1. Let's gently reverse. Start by pulling that heel up towards your butt, ramping up that tension as we go. Finish with a big squeeze. 3, 2, 1. Big breath out, relax. Let go of all that tension in your quad and your knee and your lower body, through your hip. Get as relaxed as you possibly can. Submit to that position. Settle back into your nice, relaxing, comfortable rhythm of breath. Just take one more breath here. And as you sigh out that breath, we'll shift our attention to the left side lat. So grabbing your lacrosse ball, working through the back side of those ribs. The lat is a big muscle, can be carrying tension in a lot of different areas. Start with a search. Feel out what needs attention for you today. That might be up close to the armpit, might be a little lower, might be towards the middle back. Whatever feels like it needs attention today, let your focus go there. Concentrate on getting nice and passive in the position. This is one of those muscles that can restrict overhead range, and it can be useful to work on it while we're in an overhead position. So if you keep that left elbow above your shoulder line, that'll help us free up this lat in a position of restriction. Again, there are no hard rules. The best exercise version of this is going to really depend on you. Let the video and the images be your guide, and let your body be your best feedback. Let's take one more deep diaphragmatic breath here. And as we sigh it out, we'll switch to the right side. Let's pan through that right side lat. If you found a good target spot on the left, feel free to start there in the right. It may or may not have the same kind of tension. If it doesn't, feel free to keep searching. If you're not finding anything that needs attention, just settle into something. Just pick some spot. Move yourself into a position you struggle with. Experiment with how you're applying that tension, the angle you're leaning on that ball. How much of your body you're leaning into it. How much pressure we're applying. And once we're there, settle back into your breath. Continue to let that breath calm your mind, and let your mind calm your body. Try to challenge yourself to get more passive every time you exhale. And if you find counting your breaths helpful to help you track that duration and gradually increase it, feel free to do that. That is on your own, at your own pace, at whatever level you're ready for. I'll take one more breath here. We'll slowly sigh out that breath and move ourselves into an elevated child's pose stretch. So if you have a bench or a couch handy, setting your hands up on that couch or table or bench or plyo box, whatever you have handy. And then allow your hips to sink back towards your ankles. Allow yourself to settle into a position where you're feeling a stretch through those shoulders. And allow those hips to sink into your ankles. Or getting a bonus stretch through those knees. And then once we're there, center yourself back on your breath. Concentrate on getting passive. Just allowing yourself to enjoy this position. Remain present. In a few seconds, we'll gently get active through the shoulders by pressing down into your table or box. And let's go ahead. Activating through those lats, trying to press those palms down through the object, ramping up tension as we go. Let's finish with a big squeeze. 3, 2, 1. Let's gently reverse, activating through your back muscles, your posterior delts, actively trying to pull that chest closer to the floor, ramping up tension as we go. Finishing with a big squeeze. 3, 2, 1. Big breath out, relax. Get nice and passive. Concentrate on that breath. Settle back into that nice relaxing rhythm of breath. In a few seconds, we'll gently get active through the knee. Let's start again, nice and easy. Imagine pressing your feet down through the floor by activating your quads, ramping up tension as we go. Finishing with a big squeeze here at the end. 3, 2, 1. Let's gently reverse. Squeeze through the hamstring. Attempt to actively pull your hips closer to your ankles, ramping up that tension as we go. Let's give it a good squeeze here to finish up. Really squeezing. 3, 2, 1. Big breath out, relax, nice and passive. Run through a quick checklist of all those muscles around your knees and your shoulders. Make sure everything's turned off. Completely passive. Let's take a couple of nice deep diaphragmatic breaths. Slowly sighing out that breath. We'll take one more. Big breath into that belly. Slowly sigh out that breath. And that is a wrap for today. Thanks for joining us here with some 5-pillar mobility. Hope you enjoyed the routine. Hope you liked the video. If you did, remember to like and subscribe. If there's something you'd like to see in the videos, feel free to comment. We'll see you again tomorrow. Have a great day.